Have you ever felt something watching you from beneath the surface? Imagine snorkeling in warm, tropical waters. Everything around you is calm, corals blooming in soft sunlight, tiny fish darting around like flashes of living light. You exhale, adjust your mask, and drift gently with the current. Then something moves, a flash of silver. You turn your head, nothing, just the water. But something was there. You felt it. That was the presence of a predator, not a shark, not a dolphin, but something faster, sleeker, more mysterious. The Great Barracuda, it doesn't growl, it doesn't thrash, it waits. With a body shaped like a missile and eyes that never blink, the Great Barracuda is one of the ocean's most misunderstood predators. Sleek, solitary, and built for speed, it's often cast as a villain of the sea. But is it really the monster people say it is? Or is there something more to this silver shadow of the reef? The Great Barracuda looks like it swam straight out of a sci-fi novel. Long and muscular, sometimes reaching lengths over 6 feet and weighing nearly 50 kilograms, it resembles a living spear. Its scales are silver, almost mirror-like, helping it reflect the blues and greens of the water around it, an evolutionary invisibility cloak. Its head is large and elongated, ending in a blunt snout with a massive gaping jaw. And that jaw is filled with teeth. Not just any teeth, but long, uneven, knife-like fangs that curve slightly backward. Some are triangular, perfect for slicing. Others are narrow and pointed, ideal for grabbing. It's not just the teeth, it's the eyes. Large, alert, and unblinking. Watching. Waiting. Planning. And when it strikes, it happens in a blink. The Great Barracuda can go from motionless to over 40 kilometers per hour in an instant. That's not swimming. That's launching. Its forked tail acts like a turbo booster, propelling it forward with explosive force. This isn't a fish that chases prey over long distances. It waits until the perfect moment and bam! Launches a surprise attack. Some call it the cheetah of the sea. But unlike cheetahs, barracudas don't live in open plains. Their world is colorful, complex, and full of hiding places. You'll find them in warm coastal waters around the globe. Across the Atlantic, Pacific, and Indian Oceans, from the Caribbean Sea to the Red Sea to the coasts of Indonesia and the Great Barrier Reef. They inhabit coral reefs, mangroves, seagrass beds, and even the open ocean. Some barracudas stay in familiar territory their entire lives. Others travel, riding the tides and following the fish schools that make up their diet. They tend to favor shallow tropical waters, usually no deeper than 100 meters, but don't let that fool you. They are equally at home near the surface, lurking just beneath swimmers, or patrolling the eerie stillness of sunken shipwrecks far below. They often hang motionless, suspended like silver ghosts in the water column, completely still except for a slight flick of the tail. You might swim right past one and never notice, until it notices you. Barracudas are opportunistic carnivores. Their diet includes just about anything they can catch: mullet, sardines, groupers, snappers, grunts, squid, even young tuna. Their hunting tactics vary depending on the situation. Sometimes they rush into a school of fish, slashing wildly with their teeth. They don't always kill immediately, they wound. Then, as chaos erupts and the school scatters, the barracuda circles back to pick off the injured. Other times, they stalk silently, blending into the light and shadows of the reef. A slight twitch of their tail, a quick lunge, and lunch is served. They often hunt alone, but sometimes multiple barracudas are seen in the same area. Still, these aren't coordinated packs. Each one is out for itself. Divers often report eerie encounters with great barracudas. One might follow them for several minutes, trailing behind like a shadow. Is it curious? Threatening? Just watching? The truth is, barracudas are intelligent and inquisitive. They might be drawn to the shiny reflections from a dive mask or camera. They might think you're another predator, or they might just be interested. Rarely aggressive, barracudas tend to leave humans alone unless provoked. But their stare, that's something you won't forget. Now let's rewind to the beginning. Like many fish, great barracudas start life as tiny eggs. Spawning takes place far offshore, in open water. A single female can release thousands, sometimes millions of eggs during the breeding season. These eggs drift with the currents and within days hatch into larvae. At this stage, they are barely visible, tiny, translucent, and helpless. Juvenile barracudas make their way to coastal nurseries, shallow bays, seagrass beds, and mangrove forests. These areas offer shelter from predators and plenty of food. Here, they grow rapidly. In just a few months, they can reach lengths of 30 to 40 centimeters. By the time they're 1 or 2 years old, they've developed the speed, strength, and deadly jaws that will define their adult life. Yet even then, life isn't easy. Larger predators, including sharks and even other barracudas, pose constant threats. In fact, cannibalism is not uncommon among barracudas. The strong survive, the slow disappear. This harsh reality shapes them from the start. And perhaps that's why, when they reach adulthood, they become such efficient solitary hunters. Despite their fierce image, great barracudas are vulnerable. In some places, they are caught by recreational fishers, admired for their power and speed. Others are harvested for food. But there's a problem. Barracudas can accumulate a naturally occurring toxin in their flesh called ciguatera. This toxin originates from microscopic algae that grow on coral reefs. Small fish eat the algae, bigger fish eat the small fish, and predators like barracudas eat them all. The toxin moves up the food chain and concentrates. Ciguatera poisoning in humans can cause nausea, vomiting, even neurological symptoms. There's no known cure, and the toxin can't be cooked out. In many regions, locals avoid eating large barracudas altogether, but overfishing isn't their only threat. Their habitats, reefs, mangroves, seagrasses are disappearing. Coastal development clears nursery areas. Climate change is bleaching coral reefs. Pollution, sediment runoff, plastic, and rising ocean temperatures all put pressure on these vital ecosystems. And as the reefs die, so too do the barracudas. They rely on healthy ecosystems for shelter, for hunting, and for reproduction. Remove the reef, and you remove the stage on which the barracuda performs its life's drama. Globally, barracudas aren't yet considered endangered, but in some regions, local populations are declining, and because they sit near the top of the food chain, their absence can throw entire ecosystems off balance, causing fish populations to explode, reefs to degrade further, and the web of life to unravel. But there's still hope. Marine reserves around the world are giving reef ecosystems a second chance. In protected waters, barracudas thrive, coral regrows, fish return. The balance begins to restore itself. And we too can help. By reducing single-use plastic, supporting reef conservation, and making sustainable seafood choices, we play a part, however small, in keeping the ocean alive. And alive it must stay. Because the great barracuda is more than just a predator. It's a signal, a symbol, a shimmering thread in the great fabric of the sea. So the next time you find yourself floating in clear blue water and you feel that chill of being watched, look again. It might be there, motionless, silent, watching from just beyond your reach. But don't fear it, admire it. This creature is not a monster. It's a marvel of evolution, a sculpted spearhead of survival. It's one of the last true hunters of the reef. It is the great barracuda, and it belongs in the ocean as much as the coral, the dolphin, or the whale. If this journey through silver scales and sudden strikes has captivated you, give this video a like, share it with fellow ocean lovers, and subscribe to our channel for more stories from the blue. And next time, we're going deeper into the inky black world of the giant squid, mysterious, elusive, and absolutely massive. So stay tuned, stay curious, and above all, keep exploring the wild, weird, and wonderful life beneath the waves.